Hello, my name is Gibby and welcome to the Chris Chan update for the end of January 2024. There's been an unfortunately high quantity of Chris Chan material coming out this last month, including extremely long live streams, videos, and of course, social media posts, so I apologize that I'm not exactly releasing these in chronological order. I'm jumping around between Twitter posts and live streams, and the Keffals interview, if you want to watch that, it was my previous video, should be linked at the end of this one. But today we're just going to be focusing on things that Chris has posted on Twitter between December 15th and the end of January. So let's begin. I feel like mentioning this, but someone, or likely more than one of the individuals online, have speculated my 12 previous lives. This was noted in a letter I received in my P.O. box, but I attest and affirm I was never ever any of these 12 individuals, period. Lightning heart lightning. So despite the fact that Chris was never these people, he then goes on to tell us the people who he never was. Meaning if we take every human who was ever born before the 1980s and make a list of them, we can cross out these 12. The only person on this list who really jumps out to me is Henry VIII. Chris Chan was not Henry VIII. A lot of these next couple posts are going to be about Transformers. So we have Chris saying, finally put into a figure form. From the times of Idea Guy's corruptions of multiple timelines. Gwenmi Mikoto, the evil deceptive robot identifying human who upgraded with a transector. This is Gwenmi. This is obviously one of Chris's Twilight Sparkle Secret Chip Fic folder cards. She is the ability Truckin' It. You may search the ship or pony discard pile for one of your choice and put it into your hand. If it's still in your hand at the end of your turn, discard it. And then we have the flavor text. Gwendolyn Penelope Mikoto was an expert technician and mechanical engineer. She identified as a robot, or part human-robot combination. She crafted her own exosuit that would become her exoskeletal form, going from simple human woman to a full-on robot. Ending up becoming a headmaster, she used her truck as her bigger body and vehicular form. Gwenmi was also the OC of Stephen Boyd during the months of the Idea Guy's corruptions. Stephen being one of the Idea Guys. I'm not sure if there's any amount of commentary, either intentional or unintentional, based on the idea that this person identified as a robot. Like, I don't know if Chris understands that that was probably Stephen making a lol, they identify as an attack helicopter, like that kind of joke. I don't know if that was intentional or not. And this is Chris using what I'm guessing is Crayola Model Magic to change one of his toys into this. It just looks like it's melting, mildly uncomfortable. Here we have Chris's Christmas tree, and there's not really much going on in the tree itself, but I'm going to look around the room and try to see if we can spot any interesting detail. Okay, so the star of the tree is a thing that Chris drew and made. I've definitely seen this before, so he's had this star for at least a little while. Over here we have a bookend. Not entirely sure what it is. These appear to be decks of Twilight Sparkle Secret Chip Fic folder cards, and then some sort of snow globe and a pony figure. Binders. I believe that these are each Sonichu comic episodes, in which case these are probably the most valuable thing in Christory. Over here we have just quite a lot of video games. PS4 stuff on the bottom shelf, Xbox stuff on this shelf, going all the way up to PS3. I don't know if it's a trick of the perspective. No, this is actually over here just an enormous Transformers toy. That's crazy. Before we continue, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Flexispot. This is the L-shaped sitting-standing desk by Flexispot. It's capable of turning from a sitting desk into a standing desk with simply the hit of a button. It can go all the way down to 28.9 inches and all the way up to 48.2. I found at my height that this feature is extremely useful just for sitting down and working. Now, no matter what chair I'm sitting in, the desk is always the proper height. Adjusting the desk is as simple as can be. There's an up arrow, a down arrow, and then 3 presets. The motor in the legs is quiet but sturdy, and the desk can actually hold up to 177 pounds. And when I'm drawing artwork for my channel and side products, it's a lot easier to use the desk in standing mode. It's a lot easier on my back to not have to be hunched over all day long. There's also an attached USB port for charging. The desk's L shape is perfect for putting it into corners, and it is wide enough to fit 2 monitors minimum on top of a laptop. This is definitely how I'm going to be using it. And there's also room for all of these plants. It showed up in 2 boxes, one for the table and one for the legs, and it was actually pretty easy to put together. After an hour of fun, I was able to construct it easily in my living room, and plop it right into place against my wall. No more back pain, no more wooden blocks, and a beautiful, sleek piece of furniture for my living room. Once again, this desk is from Flex-A-Spot, and you can find them on Amazon, linked below in the description. And now let's get right back into the video. When the Punislavs, formerly of PVV citizens, attack. PVC citizens. So this is still from, like, the Idea Guy's Corruptions, where he was trying to put in all this, like, Russian military stuff into the Sonichu story. So once again, Chris is definitely painting or modeling over a toy, which is why it looks all melty and weird. And it's a Transformer. Group dynamic shot of Quickville's main Autobot team featuring Sunchu, Silver, Excelina, Prowler, Amorax, and Bumba Lumba from Transformers Legacy Quickville set. If I recall my quick lore, I think Bumba Lumba is the pink one. This is definitely a shirt here in the background that has some Chris's, like, fan art of himself. Okay, here's another shot of the room, because Chris has taken his Christmas tree down. Hold on. Sorry, his Christmas tree. Ha ha ha. Okay, so it looks like those unidentifiable bookends are actually ponies. The books have been removed. Disney Infinity toys over here, on top of an Atari, yoga mat, and that's about it. Chris hit level 42 in Pokemon Go, and here we have the first official rant of the video. Alright, so this is Cosmic Keyframe Productions. God! Chris Chan replied to a reply on my pin poll. My notifications are gonna be garbage. And now we have Chris's response. Well, Key and everyone else who have blocked me on Twitter, among which all of you were some of my favorite fellow artists, analysts, humorists, vastly intelligent and insightful individuals. And all of you also heavily spiritually, energetically, and aura resonated with me as those of whom I could relate with. I could go further into detail, but not on a public tweet, but at least a number of all you understand. I mean, in empathy and in role reversal. If I was receiving heavy traffic due to a comment from you, and due to your various respective followers, you all know what I would have done. I would have simply ignored them. I don't have my notifications on for commentary. And Key, remember your You Hate panel from BronyCon 2019? Well, I learned from that, and let the attention be the blessing, regardless of the mixed reception. And I will add, as a close friend of mine have told me, that I feel all of you in the Brony, artist, and entertainment communities can understand and appreciate. Now, this next section is actually a message that Chris received from someone in the quote-unquote, analyst, artist, whatever community. And Chris has, for some reason, color-coded it. Yeah, no one understands you are innocent and that you were released because of innocence. What? Also understand that many people have dragged your reputation. So people are afraid to get involved with you, because they don't want people following them and doxing them. And with the current socio-political bolt happening, any prominent figures in media could get cancelled for it. It isn't fair. But realize it isn't because of you. Society did this. You're wonderful. Chris then continues. They are right, and all of you, my fellow artists, chroniclers, bronies, Pegasisters, and so on, who are relatively famous. All of you should not let this minority of the world, who are the toxic and darkest sinning individuals, wreck your mental and emotional health. And that goes heavily the same for the socio-political details in society in general. I appreciate and respect all of you as individuals and fellow creative types. And I will close with this. Do not block me on Twitter because of my mixed followers. Just ignore that peanut gallery and let the cosmos, universe, and deity-level individuals see karma and justice done upon them as shall be and just. Thank you. Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu Prime. And I humbly and deeply apologize for the inconvenience they have wrought upon you all. I am sorry. On the 15th, Chris posted a link to his YouTube studio, which does not work. That's your, like, that's like sending a URL to an email in your inbox. Like, that doesn't do anything. And if you click it, yeah, no, it didn't work. So don't know what he means by this. So we have a screenshot from Chris of somebody saying, I blocked that scum ages ago. I got enough drama to deal with. I don't got the spoons to deal with that. I'm sorry about this. I hope," and then trails off. And Chris responds with this dark cloud storm gif. Oh my god, this is lightning. A repeat of "as the crowd stormed upon me," I think it means clouds. "Clouds stormed upon me as I carried that cross over 2 millennia ago. It is not right to curse my or anyone's name. And it is also wrong to disturb one's love and peace with the needless drama spawned from darkness and demons, from any doubt and lack of faith, from rumors and misconceptions of I or anyone. That bunch of rumor has it is to be ceased now. Leave I and everyone else at peace." As for the cited individual, I did consciously forget her name, but it was clear that their balance was disturbed regardless of the prank comments that I never made at all, and they shall never be made again by anyone. My apologies to them for the stress from that drama. I, as well, am very tired of the drama from the toxic, evil, darkest sinners, and those misguided by those very toxic ones who need to cease and follow that which is light-powered, good, and righteous. Ultimate Miracle, Chaos Rainbow, Chaos Control. So once again, Chris is just upset that people are blocking him on Twitter. Commissions, read description, limited slots by Quick Mart Official. Sorry, this item is sold out. Sonichu Volume 0, autographed print comic. Okay, so it's actually a real reproduction of the comic that Chris is gonna sign. It says handmade, but I'm pretty sure that it's not. Like, yeah, the comic is hand-drawn, but obviously it's not really, yeah. It came in excellent condition. My classic era case is complete. This is pretty disturbing. Alright, they also have Sonichu issue number 1, which is the second issue up to sell. And based on the preview pages, you can tell that this is the edited version, because it has Ren Skysoar instead of Dr. Robotnik. I'm pretty torn on this in general. I do not think that anyone should give Chris money. But there's a difference between donating to him and buying the comic that I guess is legally his property. I think it's debatable whether or not he's even legally allowed to sell Sonichu, because it might be, like, Sonic and Pokemon's intellectual property. But buying an official copy of Sonichu that was drawn and written years and years ago is very different than supporting the modern Chris. But this is basically the only ethically sourced Chris Chan content. The only ethically sourced thing on Chris's his Quick page, his Etsy page. I have to blur the top of the screen because there's literally just a penis. I don't know what. Alright, so it looks like he has up through Sonichu Volume 3, which is the 4th Sonichu volume, up on Etsy right now. Okay, here we go. The second rant on Twitter of this video. This is going to be about My Little Pony. Okay, everyone. I will answer the frequently asked question as brief and direct as possible with mentions, and this will absolutely be the only post I make anywhere online mentioning MLP-G5 with images, so pay attention. I foretold MLP-G5 was not only going to be awful, but I also foreknew it was to be the trigger of World War III, as well as a major decline for Hasbro. They still have the chance to redeem themselves on undoing G5 and resuming My Little Pony Gen 4 to Season 14, Episode 26, and Equestria Girls. MLP G5's premature existence prior to MLP G4 Season 14, Episode 26 on animated media on TV and streaming services is a major damage to this timeline. Had G4 and Equestria Girls continued on, and without Pony Life at all, World War III would never have happened, and a whole number of other bad thinga in general. MLP G5, as is a disguise over worse things and reckless greed in the boardrooms and executives. Epic no good. Even the brony analysts all agree how awful, misguided, and malaligned G5 was, and with that, only emphasized and further proved my point. Why is Bigfoot trending? That's a Nicki Minaj song, don't care. My deal with G5 has absolutely nothing to do with the art style or quality. No, you just said, I foreknew it was not only going to be awful, so it was about the quality. My deal was, and is that this, MLP G5, just does not exist nor belong at all in this timeline and universe. Chris Chan is the bad guy from Across the Spider-Verse, and it is better to just not only ignore it and boycott MLP G5, but also not to have any media from any artists or chroniclers in and outside of Hasbro online. Also, the MLP livestream episode on MLP Official on YouTube. Please fix the thumbnail on your recent Equestria Girl livestreams. You've been using the wrong one on those for days now. Okay, so it looks like this is their livestream thumbnail. I don't know why it's wrong. And I still continue to not watch, read, nor acknowledge anything My Little Pony G5 in positivity until only after My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 14 Episode 26 is aired on TV and streaming services, with all of the canon and continuity level episodes, specials, and even a movie that is not a new generation. Within all of that preceding it on TV and streaming media in animated glory with the original cast, staff, and animation programs used originally, period. I do not care if you consider this a too long didn't read statement, but it is divine and metaphysical fact, period. So, heed my words. Lightning Heart, Lightning Diamond, Rainbow Cross, Star of David, different Star of David, Menorah, Yin Yang symbol. I don't know these next couple. This affects everyone. This post was deleted by the post author. And the only MLP G5 references I had were from a few on Twitter that I have reported personally. I do not like to see them clutter my timeline, as well as this universe's timeline in general. Things of equal importance. This universe's timeline, Chris Chan's Twitter feed. Chris then posted part 3 of his Transformers livestream thing, but then he quote tweeted it later and said, P.S. I broke your cameras and the cameras on your phone, stalking weens and whatnot. And with that, we are caught up with Chris's Twitter antics. I will soon be coming to you with updates on the postings on YouTube that Chris Chan has been up to. In fact, I'm going to be diving right into that after this video. But if you're interested, I have one more announcement. For the month of February alone, on my Teespring store, which will be linked below, I have a Chris Chan inspired shirt. This is an actual thing Chris posted on Facebook on February 10th, 2010. This was his idea of a funny Valentine's Day card. My hormones are slam bangin', and I do not have a woman to put them in. And then he followed this up with a disclaimer. I am not a sex freak, I am just lonesome and sometimes horny. So if you want a shirt that you can wear absolutely nowhere on no occasion ever for any reason, this will be up for a limited time from February 1st to February 29th on my Teespring store. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GIBI_Devin, and please be nice to each other in the comments.